Hey ladies! Jumped on here to do another makeup tutorial for you guys. If you are new to my group, my name is Michaela Farringer, and I am going to go ahead and get started, not waste any time. So, first of all, I don't have any makeup on whatsoever. So all I did this morning was my 3-in-1 cleaner. I put on some Spot On for acne spots. Then I sprayed on 3 sprays of Climate Control for hydration. And then I did Daytime Moisturizer. And then I did do a little bit of the Nangai oil around my nose because I felt like it was a little bit dry. It is pretty dry this time of year in Colorado. So I felt like my nose was a little dry, so I put a little Nangai oil. It's awesome. It feels like coconut oil, but once it dries, it's not shiny at all and goes on really well. So now I'm going to go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to use green concealer, and that will get the red out. So I just put a little bit here. Hopefully you guys can see me okay. The lighting looks a little dark on my end, but I'm wondering if it's the glare or if it really is dark. So you guys can let me know. So I take the green concealer, and as you saw, I do have a little bit of red in this area. And so as you can see, that gets the red out. Like so. And then one of my favorite products is the Eye Illuminator. And what I do with that, it's an eye cream. So it has a lot of the anti-aging properties, but it also has pearlizer in it. And I put that just under my eyes. It highlights my eyes, makes them stand out a little bit more, and then hides my dark under eye a little bit. And I do like to put this on before concealer because it has the eye cream in it, so I want it to be right at the skin surface and not be blocked by concealer. So I recommend putting that one on first after you do moisturizer. And then I just put the green concealer here. You can also, if you have any like acne spots that are red, you could put the green concealer over top of those and conceal them. I've started to use this natural color concealer, and so it is pretty much a skin tone. And we do have a couple more that just came out, light, medium, and deep. That is an awesome concealer. Those can be used even for covering tattoos, which is a little bit crazy to me, but really awesome. So I'll put a little bit under my eye, and then I'll just go across, and this will also cover dark under eye. We do have a product in our skincare line that will remove and diminish dark under circles under eyes. Essentially, it is extra blood that's built up around there, and our dark circle eye treatment has peptides that go ahead and go in and remove that extra blood. So then it'll take away that dark under eye. But if you want to just cover it at this point, then you can use the concealer. I've also often used the Sandstone Pearl eyeshadow. This is a really good color for me. It is really light, like a light ivory color. And then sometimes I use Candlelight, but it is a little bit more peach in color. So it just really depends on what your skin tone is, on which one you would prefer. And if you really do want to get a good highlight in that, like if you put it right here, then snow is also an option, or a mixture of the two. So then, did concealer. I'm going to go ahead and put on cream beige foundation. And what I do is sometimes I put it on the lid, or I typically just put it on my hand. And I do about a half a pump, so it lasts me a really long time. And as you can see, these bottles are an air pump, so it pushes the product up, and so you're not going to lose any of your product. All of it is going to come out. Oops. Start throwing it. Then I put a little bit of pearlizer. So this is similar to what I put under my eyes directly with the eye cream, and that's in the eye illuminator. And as you can see, it's a little bit darker. You can see how much I put in there. It's about 1/4 of a pump. And I take the end of a brush and I mix it together. And that's going to give my face a little bit of a glow. And it just darkens that color slightly. I am a cream beige foundation. And I personally use the Advanced Anti-Aging. It's just going to give more anti-aging than the original. But the difference between those is the original will have a greater coverage and be waterproof, where the Advanced Anti-Aging is water resistant. But I haven't had any issues with it, and it's supposedly not quite as much coverage, but I've also found that to be fine for me too. I do often use just the color tinted moisturizer, which is even lighter coverage, and I think just by using our skincare so much and my face being so much better than it used to be from our cosmetic line and skincare, that I don't need as much coverage. And then I can just use the concealer to cover just the little spots that I need extra coverage. So I'll tell you what I'm doing now. I am taking the color that I mixed up on my hand, and I dab a little bit, and then I put it where I want it. When I dab like this, that is going to put more product in that spot. And then as I go in circles like this, it's going to blend it into the rest of my face. And I use a steeple brush. It is more dense at the bottom and not as dense at the top where there's white here. You can maybe tell a little better that way. And that's what I've been using, and I prefer. Before, I would use a brush more like this for my foundation. It's going to give you more coverage for a brush like this. But I've recently been using this. It seems like it blends better, and you use a lot less product. So, which is a bonus for having your products last a lot longer. You just don't need as much on. It spreads a lot better. Blends in really nicely. And so that, a little bit down here, is my foundation. And then I'll go ahead and go in with bronzing and contouring. So recently I've been just using Mocha Java. I'll be using this on my eyes today as well. And it's just a light taupe brown color. The shadow scents are very diverse. It's one of my favorite products. As I mentioned earlier, you can conceal or lessen the look of, I guess that would be concealing underneath your eyes and highlighting. So I'm just going to use like 2 dots right here. And then for my face shape, a little bit there. I conceal right underneath my cheekbone here. And you want more of a direct line, and that's the contour. And then you blend it out. And I use a pretty large brush for this. So what you're going to want to do is highlight this middle part of your face here. and then bronze the outside of your face so that more people, the attention goes to the middle of your face where you want it. And then on my chin there. So the SeneGence, it is a mixture of the LipSense and then the daytime moisturizer. So it does have anti-aging in it, so that's an added bonus. But it also has a sun shield, so that is equivalent to a 15 SPF, which is awesome because how many people put sunscreen on their eyelids? I don't know if I've ever attempted that, although maybe if you did the spray or something. So that is in our eyeshadow called SeneGence. So if you see, bronze the outside, did a lot of contour right here. When you contour, you just want to do a little bit right in here. If you go too far, it's just going to look kind of dirty. So if you do a more direct line, sorry, I thought I turned the sound off, and you're probably hearing that little clicking sounds. Let's see, sorry, let me change this. There we go. Yep, okay. So then you just want to put, for contouring, you just go in for a little bit. It'll highlight your face and your cheekbones and make your face look a little bit thinner. Okay, so bronze. Then I am going to use Toasted Rose. It is a blush scent, and it is also a cream to powder. So goes on as a liquid. Sometimes I'll dot it. Just do one dot. It goes really long ways. And sometimes I just put it on a smaller stiff brush, like so. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my brush. And by a little bit, like this is such a small amount, if you can even see it on there. And you put it on, like that was such a small amount, and it's probably all I need. What I do recommend is because our products are so pigmented that you just put on a very small amount and add to it. Because as you saw, like you can barely even see it on the brush, and then you put it on. Oh, that one. Okay, got a different spot on the brush. Okay, so you can barely see it on the brush, and you go in. You can put it on here on your cheekbone, and then you just blend it backwards. And if you want to add more, you definitely can do that. So you just start with a little amount. I think this bottle is going to last me a very long time. Okay, that's pretty even. It is a color that is very similar to our Mulberry Shadow Scents. So sometimes I do use the Mulberry Shadow Scents for my blush. But the Toasted Rose, so this one is Mulberry. So I use this on my eyes sometimes, and I use it as my blush sometimes. And then I just applied the Toasted Rose. It's a slight bit darker, but they are both a little bit of a mauve color. They do have a slight purple to them. So, but the Toasted Rose is a little bit darker. You could use the Toasted Rose in our blush scents on your eyes as well. I know a lot of people use the bronze sometimes on their eyes. So the products are just really diverse and can be put wherever. Essentially, they're kind of all made out of the same things, and so they can be used in the same ways on different parts of your face. And the SeneGence is cream to powder, so it's going to take 2 minutes for it to dry compared to the LipSense that only takes a few seconds for it to dry. The SeneGence takes 2 minutes. You could put your eyeshadow on just like normal, and it's going to dry. It's not like you have to sit there with your eyes closed or anything. You don't have to wait for it. You just put it on like normal. It's only so that you can have more time to blend if that's something that you want to do. And after those 2 minutes, I go in and blend and put additional colors on. So you'll see that a little bit here. Right now, I'm putting Sandstone Pearl all over my eyelid. And the reason for that is because I have veins and red a little bit that comes through on my eyelids, and I don't want that seen. I'm covering that up essentially. But if you don't have veins that are showing in your eyelids, you don't need to use the Sandstone Pearl all over. Our products are, all of the shadow scents are essentially primers built in. And so you could just go ahead with your crease color and blend from there. You don't have to put any kind of primer on. It's going to stay perfectly fine. It's not going to go into your creases. Or I know typically in the summertime, a lot of colors by like a couple hours or the end of the day, it creases into the crease right here, the product, because of the oils in your eyelids and sweating or anything throughout the day. And this product's not going to do that. The Shadow Sense is going to stay right where you put it when you put it on in the morning, and you can work out, work all day, or go swimming or anything, and it'll stay there. So now I'm going to use a brush like this. So I'll show you. This is what I put the Sandstone Pearl on with. My numbers, I've used this brush for so long that I don't even know what the number is on it. I do know that the brand is MAC, but I don't think that there is a huge difference necessarily with different brushes. So you can go out and you can get fairly cheap brushes that will work really well for you. And so this is just the type of brush that I put on the Sandstone Pearl. I've also used this to do the dark circles under my eye coverage. And then this one is more of a blending brush. So I'm going to put the Mocha Java, which I used as my contouring and bronze. So I'm going to start on this part of my eye, and I'm going to want the color to be a little bit darker on the outside. So I put color here, and as before, same as foundation, when you dab it like that is where you'll get more product, and then you go in and blend it. So this brush is a little bit stiffer, so what I'm going to do is put some product on this eye. It's going to put more product on the eye, and then I'm going to take another brush to blend it out a little bit more. So put some product on. Then I'm going to go ahead and take this guy, so it is a little fluffier. And if you hold the brush farther down, it'll blend better. If you typically have issues with doing your eyeshadow and it gets a little bit blotchy, you may be holding the brush a little bit too close to your eye. And so when you're blending, you want to hold the brush farther down, and it'll blend a lot smoother for you. This brush here is a Morphe. Got a small collection. You can find them online. They were recommended to me, so there was something I tried out, and I basically have just been using this particular brush of the set for myself, but they do have good quality. I know that also on Amazon there's a few different brush sets out there. And if you have any questions on them, definitely let me know. Okay, so just blend, blend, blend. A little bit more on the outside. Okay, so that's the Mocha Java, and then I can even put in a little bit of Garnet, which is a darker brown, and that's just going to highlight more in my crease, so just a little goes a long way. See if I got a good amount. So barely put it on and then add to it. And like I said before, you put on your eyeshadow just the same as you had before. This is just the technique that I'm showing you for kind of a trio essentially of colors for more of a smoky eye. So I'm putting the garnet on the outside here and a little bit more in the crease. And I hope you guys can see that. So I'm dabbing it more, and this is my little bit stiffer brush. So it's getting a little bit more product and a little bit more direct. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is get my Sandstone Pearl Shimmer. So I put on the base my Sandstone Pearl. This one is Sandstone Pearl Shimmer. And what I do with this guy, love it. It also highlights. So I use it right here. You can see what the difference that made. It really highlights the eyes. And I always recommend putting a light color right there. That little zone, because it'll really brighten your eyes up. The next place that I put it is right in the middle of my eye. And that gives a little bit more dimension, and it will make the eyes pop and look a little bit bigger. So this is what you'll want to do if you have a little bit smaller eyes that are set back a little bit. And it just makes your eyes pop a little bit more. Of course, you just add as you want, as you need. And then I also am going to put a little bit up here above my brow, a little bit down here. That highlights the eye, gives my face a little bit of a facelift by having that highlighted color close to my eyebrow. Okay, so that is that part. Then I should show you this. Well, I'll do that after I fix it. Okay. Eyes. Then I always do my eyeliner. So I just use Onyx as my personal eyeliner. It's black, and it's one of my favorite products because it goes on so well. I use one of these thin angled brushes. This one happens to be MAC as well. Barely see the number. I want to say it's like 206 or 286, something like that. It's been my absolute favorite to use. So I start in the middle of my eye, right above my pupil, and then I go across to the outside, and I can add more to my brush as I need it. And I just have a hair on there. Okay. And I'm just stamping it across. You could also use an eyeliner brush, like a liquid eyeliner brush, whether it is a brush on its own, or if you have a particular eyeliner that you've used in the past and you really like the brush on it, you can use that brush. Just take it out of the container and you can use that brush. I hear my son. He is watching TV at the moment. But what's hilarious is that he is afraid of hair. And it's so funny because my hair and my daughter's hair is like everywhere, which is pretty common for a girl house. And if hair touches his toys, he screams and makes sister take it off for him. Okay, so I stamped that across, even out both eyes. Then you could take it and go underneath your eye, and that's going to balance your eye a little bit. With your under eye, you could do this liner. You could use garnet. You could use garnet for the top or bottom. If you normally use brown, then garnet is going to be what you want to use. You could put mascara on your under lashes, or you could take a kind of a pencil shape brush and apply some Mocha Java underneath your eye. And that will all balance your eye out a little bit and look really, really good. You can play with that a little bit. Hey bud, you gonna come say hi? Playing with the door. Okay. So I just stamp it across. I use a lot less product on the under eye, but just enough to brighten my eyes and balance them between how much eyeliner I used on the top of my eye, and then I am going to also put mascara on. So if you have any eyeshadow that's over here, so you want your eyeshadow basically to end the same place that your eyebrows end over here. So if you have fallout, basically, like when you were blending, you went a little bit farther, I go ahead and use our Foops remover, shake it up really good. I put it on a Q-tip, and then you can just run it up and clean that line up a little bit. But with our SeneGence, even with our shimmer colors, you're not going to have any fallout like underneath your eyes any time of the day, even when you're putting it on. Hi, bud. Okay. So then this is our natural translucent powder, and we have it in the natural color, bronze, and then a silver rose, pinkish color. So you would use it as a all over coverage, or the bronze one, of course, for bronzing, and then the silver rose to for blush. And I just have the natural run. It will combat oily looking face. So you can leave it up like this, and it is really nice for underneath your eye, kind of like a finishing powder. Although our products don't really need a finishing powder, so it's just a personal preference if you want it. So you can also open it up like this and use it all over. Like so. And as you saw, when I want the product to come out, it does have this lid in here, and I just tap it on my hand, and that gets the product into the brush, and then I pull that up and can use it like so. There's that guy. Hi, bud.
I use this.
You use that?
Yeah.
I'm going to use that in a little bit. Mwah. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is mascara. So I'm going to use this little guy.
I want this.
Okay, hold on a minute. So I do recommend using an eyelash curler. And basically you're going to put it, all your lashes inside, get it all the way to your eyelid. Like I wiggle it a little until it gets to the bottom of my eyelashes. And then I push up. And that's going to put that crease right at the edge of where my eyelashes end and give me the most volume. So same thing over here. Get them all in there. Push down.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Excuse me, what are you doing? Here, bud.
Get fishy.
Here you go. Hand open. Hand open, you're going to drop it. Okay. Little intermission there. Okay. So then I take the mascara, and I can go ahead and show you the UnderSense this time. So UnderSense is this gray bottle here, and it contains a moisturizer and volcanic ash. Here, go, bud. Can you sit right here?
Yeah.
Okay, sit right here. A volcanic ash, and that is what is going to essentially prime your eyelashes, build them up so that they appear thicker and longer in length. So take it out. It is gray, like you would expect from something that contained ash. That also is good because you can put it, you can see where it goes on, and then you can make sure that you're covering it all up with your mascara. No, thank you. And so how I apply it is I start at the base of my lashes and I wiggle, and that will put product on, and then, so I'm using a mirror, of course, over here, so hopefully you can see that. Puts product on, and it separates my lashes. And I find that that bigger barrel works really well at lengthening and separating. And if you have longer lashes and you have problems with getting mascara up here on your upper lid, the things you could try are not having your eyelid open as far when you apply it. So take your mirror and hold it down more. That'll cause you can see I'm holding my face up more to get to the mirror. If you held your mirror down more, then your eyelashes wouldn't be as close to your upper lid, so then it wouldn't get on there. The other thing you could do is do your mascara first before your eyeshadow, and then you could just use the Foops remover to remove that mascara prior to doing your eyeshadow. Okay, and just even out and do this other side. Might be able to see this one better from this direction. So I'm not going to put a whole bunch on. You can build it up as much as you want. Same thing with the mascara. You can build it up and put more on even later in the day. So once this dries, it's not going to flake or get on your cheekbones or all. It'll stay right where it's at until you remove it. I like to use the Foops remover to remove it, but a good oil-based remover is recommended for that. Let's see where my mascara is here. Oop, I already took it out. Okay. So the mascara is going to stay right where it's put. And then later in the day, say you worked all day, you're going to go out later that night, so you want more of a dramatic look, then I would recurl my eyelashes. Yes, with the mascara already on it. It's not going to hurt your lashes at all. It's not going to break off or flake off. So I recurl my lashes, and then I can apply more of the mascara, and it'll go on nicely, and it'll build on it, and it'll be a little bit more dramatic look. So now I go back. You can open that, Betty.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to go back over and cover up all of the gray of the UnderSense. And now you'll be able to see it better. Of course, that gray is hard to see. I am a black mascara girl, but we do also have it in brown, if you typically wear brown. So see, if I have lashes that are a little bit getting stuck together, I just wiggle them a little more. And that's how I get them to separate. So then I'm going to do my other side here, show you. This is our mascara with Undersense all in one tube essentially. So there's a wand on either side of this gold portion here of the lid. And so we sell it like this, where you can get the mascara and the Undersense all in one tube. Then this one here, I wore it almost every day, and it lasted me like 4 or 5 months. So I just recently switched over, and this is the full-size version, and this is what I've recently been using for the Undersense and mascara. So I don't know how long it's going to last me, but I'm going to guess a pretty long time. So then I'm going to go back over here. And you do want that Undersense to dry a little bit. It's kind of just working with the dry time of it. Sometimes I will go in, do my Undersense, and then I'll check emails or do my hair or something in between, just to give it a little bit more dry time. And then when I build up onto it, it's dry and it builds up. So just something to work with. Hey buddy, can we not play with doors? Can you come back over here? Okay, and then I use the tip of the wand sometimes to do some separation. And I do apply more mascara to this outer corner, the outer portion of my eyelashes than the inner ones. Just gives more of a flirty look. If you look at any of the fake lashes, they're going to have thicker lashes out on this outer corner. So that is my mascara. You guys can see that. Love how it just separates it and looks really awesome. I'm a big lashes girl, so I love that. Okay, so I think that's pretty much my face. Just a really fairly basic. I did do, you know, a little bit darker on my eyes with using that garnet compared to an everyday look. And that's mostly, I mean, I do that every once in a while, but also so you guys can see it pretty well on the camera, because I don't, just like when you take pictures, family photos or whatever, you want to put on your makeup a little bit darker so that it will be seen through the picture. So I'm trying to do that for you guys here on the camera, but I'm hoping that that is working. I'm going to go back, and this is my pearlizer. I mixed a little bit up with my foundation, but I'll show you. I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger, and if I put it right above my cheekbone, it's going to highlight that area. See the difference it makes. I think it looks really pretty. So just right there, just the smallest amount. And I use this pearlizer whether I use the color tinted moisturizer or if I use my foundation. Kind of mix it in and gives that dewy, a more awake look that I need as a mom. Okay, so then now I'm going to go ahead and do my LipSense real quick for you. I'm going to try hazelnut today. I've never tried it before. I think it'll be a good color for fall. So make sure your lips are clean and dry. Make sure if you got any makeup on them. Sometimes I'll go through and put the ooze remover on my lips to get them, make sure there's no oil, and then wipe it off for sure. Because if you don't wipe it off, you won't have the bond that's required for the LipSense. So I shake it really good, get all those pigments all mixed in, natural pigmentation. All of our products are GMO-free, gluten-free, lead-free, vegan, not tested on animals, no animal byproducts, of course, and all manufactured in a cosmetic grade, pharmaceutical grade facility, and made in the USA. So you know that what you're getting is very high quality, and they will last you a very long time. So a tube of these is equivalent to 4 tubes of regular lipstick, And so that will typically last you 4 to 6 months if you use the same color every day. So start from one side, super thin layers. So personally, I just need to do a line in the front, and then I do my water line. Make sure you are doing your water line. You want that to be dry so that it completes the bond really well. And then I just need the 2 passes. I don't do it over, I'm not going over top of itself. I do the front and then the water line. Then I'm going to do the top. I go halfway, and then I go like this. This is the other part, the back side of my wand to do my water line. If you need to fix a different area, you can do it on your next pass. So we're going to do 3 layers, and that is going to make it so the color will last the longest. The first layer is protect it from your body's pH. The second layer is going to last the longest, and the third layer is going to protect it from food and everyday drinks and things like that. And I do put on gloss before I eat or drink. That's going to protect it even more. So just a few seconds in between. Now I'm going to do my next layer. Go across. And the water line. Oh, I was going to say, if you have thicker lips, bigger lips, then you might need to do 3. You might need to do the front, middle, and then the water line. So whatever works for you the best in that way. And then this time I'm going to go this side first and then this side. It just kind of evens the color out a little bit more for me. And I'm not pulling my lips apart too much, because I don't want the color to get really into the wrinkles of my lips. You found a card? Good job. A few more seconds.
It's like stickers.
Oh, it is like a silver car. You're right. You want to show us? Can you ring it here?
Yeah.
You do want to keep your mouth apart while it's drying, because it does get a little bit tacky, and so your lips will stick together until you use the Glossy to seal it. Come here, bud. Oh, you don't have the card. Okay, last layer. Okay, so once it's dried, you can go this other direction. If you want to even out the color a little bit more. You just have to make sure it's dry, because it has an SD40 alcohol in it, cosmetic grade, and if you went back and forth, it would take the color off. So you want to be careful of that. The SD40 alcohol actually protects the bottle from, well, it's a couple of different reasons. It's put in a product so that you won't have any bacteria growth inside your bottle. I just realized that I forgot my gloss. You won't have any bacteria growth inside the bottle, and so it'll last you a really long time, 2 years, 3 years even open, and 7 years if it's not open. So that's really awesome that it can last you so long. Also, it thins out the product so that it goes on really thin, and then it evaporates really quickly so that you the color dries really fast. Okay, let me find a little gloss here. Kind of keep a gloss in each one. This one doesn't have a lot in it, but
This bottle.
that's a vase.
Bottle.
That's a
Bottle.
that's a breakable vase, bud. Can you put it back?
Bottle.
Okay, so after those 3 layers, you let it dry really good. You have a more pigmented color, or if a matte finish, you want a little bit longer dry time. This does happen to be a matte finish, the hazelnut. And it's really pretty. I think it's an awesome color for fall. So the first time you put the gloss on, you want to put a fair amount. And through the day, you don't need to put as much. And once you do put the gloss on, you can rub your lips together.
Mommy,
Hold on, bud.
pizza. Pizza.
No, thank you. You have some stuff right here. Look on the ground. So you can rub your lips together once you seal it with the glossy. You do need to put the glossy on over the color. That's going to ensure that the color lasts really long, that your lips won't stick together, because they would stick together if you didn't seal it with the gloss. So all around, gloss is the way to go after coloring. If you are new to LipSense, you want to have the color, the gloss to seal it in, and then the oops remover to take it off at night, or if you have any oopses and mistakes. So that is called a starter collection, and you can get any color you want to in that starter collection. So just let me know if you want to go ahead with one of those. And trying to give any more pointers. Sometimes I have, after a little bit, I'll have a little bit tacky or feel sticky, especially on the corners. What I do is that means that it just needs more gloss. So I take my finger and I put it, you can look at that, but let's not open it. I take the gloss with my finger and I can push it to where I want it if I don't have the gloss with me, if I'm out and about or something like that. So that's really nice. You can move the gloss around. And the gloss is really hydrating. It's going to penetrate through the color because the color is not a stain. It's molecular bonded to your lips. And then the color completes that bond, or the gloss completes that bond. The gloss has shea butter and vitamin E in it. Penetrates through the color to hydrate your lips. So initially, when you first start using LipSense, you will want to use more gloss until your lips are feeling healthier and you'll be able to tell the difference. Then after that point, you don't need to use as much gloss. Like I typically only gloss twice a day, 3 times a day maybe, or if like I'm having something more greasy maybe for food. I don't always even put glossy on before I eat. But as you are using it more, using the glossy more and maybe lip balm at night, then you'll see the benefits in your lips. You won't have to apply it as much, and it's even more awesome than at the beginning. So thank you guys for hanging out with me, and if you have any questions, go ahead and comment here, or you can email me at kissablelipsbymichaela@gmail.com. And thanks for hanging out with me, and you guys have a great evening.